Hey everybody, this is Dark Side Elite. Coming with you with a pretty quick video here. This is my talk about the CW side of the DC universe and some of the things that they have been doing over the past year. Ever since Elseworlds that they did. Um, let's start off with the big daddy of them all, the one that started it all, and that was Stephen Amell and Arrow. This last season was not that good. I'm being completely honest with you. It wasn't that good. I think that the showrunner was really trying to tell a story, and she was trying to go with the Batman Beyond type of situation where Oliver Queen is gone, and there has been no Green Arrow, and the whole city turned the pot. Um, and they needed a hero. So they they started to do the quote unquote Arrow Beyond, and a lot of fans didn't like it. A lot of people did could not gather behind the actress playing as Mia Queen, and the main reason why is she's not likable. I think the actress is very likable. I think that again they have a huge problem with letting people have a natural personality. I think they felt that they wanted to have them have this quote unquote Batman type of personality. No, the actress and Stephen Amell have such a great level of chemistry, and they have a great smile. It's very off-putting when you have them that have this in interviews. They have this great personality, and you can't see that personality. They have this very wooden, stoic personality, and it makes no sense to who they are. And she kept having a B face almost throughout the whole season, so people couldn't get past this. This, in my personal opinion, she could have been a mix. She could have had a kind of a stoic personality, but she could have been very quippy. She could have been very I'm not gonna say a girly girl, but she could have been close to almost the Oliver Queen that we should have gotten through Stephen Amell. That she lived her life very vicariously. She wants to have fun, and it is exciting. But they made her that she hates superheroes, and she hates what happened to her dad, and everything else. And it's like, really? I mean, what the hell's going on? So in Elseworlds, we come to find out that Oliver Queen made a deal with the Monitor, and because of this, the Monitor gave Oliver a choice that if you want me to fix this, then what needs to happen is there has to be a price to be paid. Now we know that by him saying that, then Oliver's gonna die because I believe in the comics he died during Crisis. I think Oliver Queen died in the original Crisis. So when the universes all became one, we had Connor Hawk, his son, become the Green Arrow for a little while, and then they brought him back. So I think that that's what they're kind of doing with this, but they ran into so many problems. I believe they ran into a lot of story problems by doing this, and they couldn't make his other son, William, the Green Arrow, because his character is very dainty and pretty weak in a way. He's not strong. So they decided to make Oliver and Felicity have a daughter, and they made the daughter become more like Oliver Queen with training by Nissa Al Ghul herself, and become this badass fighter and this and that. Um, Now we're getting the final episode of Arrow is going to be him wrapping up a lot of storylines and having a last villain, and him possibly dying. I have a feeling that the they're not going to have a full season. So I truly do believe that they're going to have enough episodes to do it all the way up to Crisis, and they're going to have a couple of episodes afterwards, do ramifications that Oliver's gone. That's what I think they're going to do. I don't think they're going to wrap it all up in Crisis. I think they're going to wrap it kind of up in a couple of episodes afterwards, or maybe an episode afterwards, to have everyone say their goodbyes to Oliver Queen. Now, what do I think of this? Um, if you told me this a couple of years ago, I would have said, really, they should have ended this show a long time ago. They should have ended it after season 5. I think season 5 was the pinnacle of how you do the storyline, and you really show that everyone died on that island, including Felicity, Diggle, everybody is dead on that island, and Oliver's just watching the havoc while his greatest enemy basically blew the whole island up and he's on a boat with his son. So it started with a father and son on a boat, and it ends with a father and son on a boat. That's how I feel that they should have did it. Um, um, however, and I'll do this afterwards, like how I think that they could have done this whole thing, but I mean, I have to finish up the rest of this season to really hammer that in, and I will do that after I finish up a lot of my wrap up seasons for Arrow, and I got to get that done pretty soon. But let's move on to the Flash. They've been lording this whole situation with the Flash since season 3, I think. For 2 years they've been hammering in. No, since season 1 they've been hammering in that the Flash was to disappear during the Crisis event. Now, they changed it last season because of Nora, and they changed a lot of things because of Nora. I feel that that was a big mistake. I don't think they should have did that. They revealed that Oliver Queen was there. They revealed that they revealed the Green Arrow, Batwoman, Spartan, the Black Canary. They revealed like all the people were there, and I'm like, okay, how can Oliver Queen be there when Barry disappears? But no, I think that they did not really think this through, and now, case in point could be they didn't know they were going to be canceling Arrow. They were going to cancel Arrow when they wrote this. That's when I believe that this is going to completely change a lot of things. Because if if the Green Arrow dies to save Barry and the whole universe, then that completely changes everything. It changes everything because that means that the future that we saw with Arrow Beyond, quote unquote Arrow Beyond, that will completely change Mia's whole outlook on everything. Because everyone should know more is as much as us that if Mia found out that her father sacrificed his life to save everybody plus his friends, she wouldn't be angry at superheroes. She's only angry at no, I'm sorry, she's not angry at superheroes. She's angry at vigilantes. She wouldn't be angry at vigilantes. She would be more admired being wanting to be a vigilante because her father saved the world. He saved the whole fabric of reality. That would change her whole outlook. That would change everything. In my personal opinion, that would undo a lot of crap that happened in last seasons of Arrow, and I think that's what they're gonna do. I think that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna completely change Mia's whole outlook on vigilantes and change her whole presence on it. Um, I also do believe that in the Flash, I still believe that John Wesley Shipp being the '90s Flash, he should be the one that runs into the fabric of reality to stop Eobard Thawne. That's the one that should do it, not Grant Gustin. And it should have this huge legacy that shows that it shows this huge legacy that if that version of Barry, by running to the Speed Force and turned himself into pure energy, he went back in time and turned himself into the lightning that struck Grant Gustin's Barry Allen, which shows to Barry when he's emotional over Oliver's death, and he tells him that it was that you were right, that lightning did choose me, and you're like, wow, that Oliver was right, that lightning chose you. There's a reasoning for it, and it goes right back to that. And if they do that, they will solidify to me that they did a story correct. I think that they should use the '90s Barry Allen sacrifices himself to save everybody with now we also know that Linda Carter is going to be the older Wonder Woman, and we also know that Brandon Routh is getting himself in huge levels of shape right now. He's lifting right now. He's going to get bulky because he's going to become the Kingdom Come Superman. He's going to be the Superman that's going to be the older Superman that's going to possibly be the one is possibly going to be the one that's going to try to take down the Anti-Monitor. So we're probably going to see him die, and we're going to see the Linda Carter Wonder Woman die. And that's like, oh wow. So they're really jam packing a lot of stuff in here. And what I think is they need in in my personal opinion, they need to solidify that it's the 90s Flash. He's the one that truly stops the crisis. Oliver dies, but it only slows it down. It doesn't fully get rid of it. And that's when Eobard does what he has to do, and then you have the 90s Flash come in, but it's because of what Oliver did that makes the Monitor bring in the 90s Flash. He's the one that saves the 90s Flash and brings him in to say, hey, you got one thing you have to do, and he realizes what he has to do, and he saves everybody because Grant Gustin's about to run into the crisis event and stop it all. And you see 90s Flash go, no, this is what I have to do. My world is gone. Everything that I know is gone. Yours is still here. This is my gift to you. Good luck, Flash. And he runs into the Speed Force. And you have Jay Garrick sitting there going, everybody's watching him and he's running into the Speed Force. Dude, it would bring shivers up everyone's spines. You're watching the first Flash, John Wesley's ship, run into the crisis event, and he's running and running and running, and you see his body starting to decay, and he says, I have to run faster, I have to run faster, and he just runs, and he basically stops the crisis from coming in and stops Eobard Thawne. I truly believe that we're not going to see Tom Cavanaugh's Eobard Thawne again. I think that we're not going to see him again. They're going to get rid of that version of Eobard Thawne forever. He's not going to come back. Um, um, and we're gonna see Psycho Pirate again. We're gonna see all this stuff going on, but I have a huge feeling that if they do it right, they gotta bring in the 90s Flash. He has to be the one that stops the crisis event and helps everybody. He saves everybody, but though it doesn't dwarf what Oliver Queen does, it slows it down. It slows everything down, but then but then you still bring in the fact that they didn't stop Eobard. And Eobard's about to do what he's going to do. So you're like, okay, well, Barry has to do it. Barry has to run into the Speed Force to stop Eobard Thawne, but it's the 90s Flash that does it, and completely he completely stops it. That's how I would do it. That's how I would do the Flash, and it would bring so much emotion to Grant. It will bring so much emotion to the cast. It will bring so much emotion to Flash fans that it's John Wesley Shipp's Flash that saves everybody and becomes the lightning that strikes Grant Gustin's Flash, that gives him his powers. That would be such a complete story for Grant Gustin's Flash. It would give us a lot of great levels of closure for John Wesley Shipp's Flash, that we're never going to see him again. Because we got Grant Gustin's Flash. And we still got John Wesley Shipp, but he's Jay Garrick. And that's perfectly fine. But they're saying he's retiring. That's okay. He retired in the comics before, but he still put on the tin hat to help everybody. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm perfectly happy with that. That would be great. That would be great. And we know we're not going to lose Grant Gustin because they introduced blood work in the next season. Now, if it was, in my personal opinion, I never would have did blood work. I would have did Eobard Thawne. I would have done the Thawns. I would have did Inertia. I would have done I would have said it's it's Zoom. And everybody like, "What? Zoom?" Yep, it's Zoom. Everybody's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And it's a twist. It's a twist on Zoom that it's not the true Zoom. It's actually Kid Zoom. He goes by Zoom because he knows that that's going to strike fear in everybody's hearts because they know who Zoom is, but it's not Zoom. It's Inertia. And it's actually Thaddeus Thawne. It's Thaddeus Thawne, and he's doing this because he knows that he has to help his grandfather. So you're like, holy crap! So you got the Thawns. The whole season is about the Thawns. I would do blood work in the next season. I would do blood work in season 7, and then strengthen this season so everyone goes, wow, I want a new season. So you do blood work, and then you're doing the ramifications that Arrow's not around. And everything's still, and Barry is living his life a little bit better because of everything that happened in Crisis. And now he's dealing with this really maniacal villain, and you strengthen that up a little bit more. And then the next season, so that if they decide to do a season 8, they know what they can do. They do something a little bit darker. Maybe the Rogues. I don't know. That'd be cool. But So I think that the Flash could really this season of the Flash has to be phenomenal. It has to be phenomenal. You can't this season cannot be lackluster, and the only thing that salvaged this season was the Crisis Event. You cannot do that. That would be so detrimental and it'd be so disingenuous. So we have to see. Now I'm gonna leave the best for last, but Legends. I haven't watched Legends since I think season 3. I stopped watching it because it wasn't my cup of tea. But they they really need to mix up the roster. They need to get rid of certain characters. They need to get rid of if Heat Wave is there, get rid of him. They need to get someone else in there. That's what they were talking about when they first created the show. This is supposed to be a revolving door of B, C, D listed villains and heroes teaming up to go through time. They never talked about keeping certain people on. Now they're talking about they want to give Sarah Lance a superpower. I'm like, why? That shows now they're reaching for straws. They're trying to really gather an audience because that's that why. She's supposed to be a highly trained assassin. Why would you want her to give her a superpower now? If they give her a sonic scream, everyone would be pissed. Sorry, they'll be pissed. You have people who are gonna be like, yeah, yeah, we got the Black Canary. Like, oh, so you got 3 Black Canaries now. Great. That would be disingenuous and it'd be stupid. But we have to see. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be crap, but I'm just saying like I'm not that excited for it. I haven't watched the last set of seasons of Legends because it's too kooky. It's way too much for me. It's not my cup of tea. I can watch Doom Patrol because honestly, Doom Patrol to me fits the narrative of all the characters. They are the most obscure heroes, but they have the kookiest type of storylines, and it makes sense for the characters. Legends doesn't make sense. Legends tomorrow should be Rip Hunter and the Time Travelers, but we don't have Rip Hunter anymore. Rip Hunter is quote unquote dead. It's like okay, well, who cares now? Who cares now? Um, let's move on to Black Lightning. If Black Lightning gets in this Crisis Event, I don't want them to change a damn thing. The show, to me, is still good. They need to work on Anissa a little bit more, but if they introduce him into this universe, I have a huge feeling that he's gonna have massive conflicts with Spartan and Oliver. Everyone else is gonna be like, "Whoa, this dude's powerful as hell. His daughter's powerful as hell. Damn, his other daughter is pretty freaking powerful." So they're gonna come in as a pretty powerful team in their own right. And Jefferson is not a sloppy fighter. He's not a sloppy fighter, so he'll give these guys a good run for their money. In my personal opinion, he will have conflicts with everyone else. He'll listen to them, but he'll be like, "Nah, man, that's not how it's gonna work." And they're like, "What?" He goes, "Dude, I've been at this game a lot longer than all of you." And they're like, "What?" He goes, "Dude, he's been doing this since he was in his 20s. He's in his 50s. He's in his late 40s now. He's been doing this for a long time. He's not a slouch." And you bring in Gamby, who can give Felicity and Cisco and I think they're introducing Bumblebee in this next season for Flash. He can give them a run for their money. He built all their tech, so it's like Black Lightning on a whole is a much stronger cohesive team. But of course, this is a father with his daughters. He's gonna protect them. So he's gonna be like, no, 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 we're not doing that, and that'll be great. I want to see that. I want to see that conflict. And you have Spartan sitting there looking at him like, really, man, like, and he's like, he's kind of chuckling like, he goes, dude, we've defeated people who are. He goes, yeah. He goes, that's cool, that's cool, but they're not me. He goes, that's not. He's looking at him like, that's not me, and he's Spartan going, like, damn, like he's that confident, and that's good, and that's what I want to see. They don't know what this guy can do. They don't. They're thinking, I'm like, okay, you have lightning powers, so what? But when they see Jennifer, what she could do, they're gonna be like, oh no, like she's very powerful. She's stupid powerful. He can absorb the lightning out of her and focus it through himself. So it's like, dude, he's a lightning rod. So it's like he can just and light people up. So it's like he's very very powerful. Black Lightning is extremely powerful, but I personally want them to do it right. If they're gonna do Black Lightning in the CW, they gotta do him right. They cannot have him corral, and also I don't want them to overstep his bounds. What I want him to do is he listens, but then he puts his foot down and says, no, 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 no. And they're going, what? And then you have Oliver sitting there going, he goes, you know how many, he goes, you know how long I've been at this? He goes, not as long as me. And he goes, really? He goes, I've been at this for 11 years. Oh, I've been at this a little bit longer. He goes, I've been at this a little bit longer. And I fought super villains. People who maybe you could be able to take down. But I've taken them down. People as powerful as me, maybe more powerful, and I took them down. I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm not. But I'm saying is this is what I can do. Me and my team, we can be able to help. But we're not doing that plan. It ain't gonna work. And Oliver's like, so you got a plan? Oh yeah. And you got him doing his plan. Like that's what I want them to do. It makes sense because he's a leader himself. He knows how to inspire. He knows how to talk. He knows how to get people want to follow him. The only thing is, everybody with Oliver, they worked with Oliver. They know that Oliver can get the job done. They know he's a great leader. They don't know Jefferson. But you have Kara walking him, going, "Hey, whoa. Okay, listen. Let's try to figure it out. Let's work with Oliver's plan. If it doesn't work, we'll go with yours." He goes, okay. He goes, okay. But he's not going to overstep his bounds, and I don't want him to overstep his bounds. He just goes, okay. It's just not going to work. But when he sees that Oliver is a great leader and he starts to relent a little bit, it shows that he's going, I can follow this guy, and I go, okay, cool. Now that's what I want for Black Lightning. I don't want them to change a lot of anything. I don't. I think that changing his character to fit their narrative makes no sense. Everyone should come in with their own personalities and just have the story evolve around each and every person's character. It's not lazy writing. It's very constructive writing, in my personal opinion. Lazy writing is Black Lightning comes in, he looks at everybody, goes, "Oh, you're all heroes? Okay, well, what do you want us to do?" He goes, "Oh, okay, well, that's going to work. All right, let's go." No, that's not. We've never seen Black Lightning do that. Even in his own TV show, we've never seen him do that. We've never seen him relent. He always says, "Nope, we got to do it this way," because he always has a plan. Makes sense. So if he's going to go to, let's say, this other universe, he's not going to change his stance either. He's going to be like, "Nope, nope," and I'll be perfectly fine with that too. So that's what I want, well, that's what I would like to happen. I don't want that. I would like for that to happen. I would like for them to evolve the storyline a little bit better, and if they do bring him in, and last but not least, Batwoman. I watched I have sat down and watched that trailer. It is so cringeworthy. It's so terrible that they're disrespecting Batman like that. I can't watch this show. I'm sorry, everybody. If you think I'm going to watch this show, I'm not going to watch it. I cannot watch Batwoman. I cannot sit back and literally, I'm not going to sit back and just completely be oblivious and just go, oh, it's Batwoman and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I should have an open mind. I have an open mind of them disrespecting one of my favorite heroes of all time. No, that's piss poor in my personal opinion. That's piss poor. That is the worst way of thinking. You should be very upset that they're going to sit there and completely dismantle and say that Batman's a loser. Batman doesn't deserve this highlight. No, she's Batwoman. If it wasn't for Batman, you would not have Batwoman. So it's like, give me a break here. That's wrong. That's saying like without Supergirl, there would not be a Superman. Huh? Who came out first? Which character was created first? It was Superman. He's the granddaddy of all superheroes. Come on. That's wrong. So I hope that everyone thinks about that a little bit because, yeah, you could be excited for Batwoman. You could be very excited for Batwoman. But for them to sit there and knock Batman, come on. That's wrong. I mean, come on. If Batman's your favorite hero, you should feel very upset over that. Like, wait a minute. You're not. It makes no sense. She steals his suit and then talks about that. I'm not gonna let a man take credit for a woman's work. What are you talking about? Now I don't know the context of the whole scene, and I'm not gonna jump on that scene, but that made no sense in that trailer. She stole his stuff. She stole his tech. So it felt very, very, very weird. So we have to find out what's gonna happen. I'll watch the first episode to get the context. But if that show starts to really hammer home that Batman is useless, he's worthless, I'm gonna be like, nope, I'm not watching after this episode. I am not gonna watch after this episode, and I'm gonna put up a rant about it. And it's terrible. So I hope you guys like the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe down below. Let's talk about it. Let's be civil. Um, the CW itself is still a pretty strong universe. It has great characters. They're doing a lot of identity politics. Oh, I forgot Supergirl. I'm sorry. I totally forgot about Supergirl. Um I haven't watched Supergirl since season 4, I think. The last season I watched was with Rain, and I felt that the whole season with Rain was good, but I really wish they went a little darker. I really wish they went a little darker. I really wish they went a little bit darker to really have her shine as a hero, but they never did. They made her get more and more in the gruff because they went simplistic level of writing. Um, there are ways to get it done, and there are massive levels of ways to have the character shine like a beacon to become this great hero and not overshadow Superman, but be in the same league as Superman. And you don't have to disrespect Superman, and and you don't have to disrespect Superman to have Supergirl be a better hero. You don't have to do that, and people are already applauding that, and I'm like, this is literally where bad storytelling comes in. And people are applauding it. It's bad storytelling. I would never do that to Superman. I would have it where uh, Supergirl is more powerful than Superman, but he's been on that planet far too long. He has way too much experience, and et cetera, et cetera. But I have not watched this last season with the whole the Red Daughter Supergirl, the whole thing that we come to find out that that Rain created a clone of Akara, and it was raised in Russia, and they had their own Supergirl, and she's called the Red Daughter. I never watched it. I don't know about John Cryer's Lex Luthor. I don't know what happened with the with uh John I'm sorry, Sam Witwer's character. I never watched it because it got so much identity politics. It ruined the show. And on top of that, they went with safe levels of writing. And to me, I don't like safe levels of writing. I don't like safe writing for an overarching story. Safe levels of writing in certain episodes, that's fine, but you want to make your story strong and very, very poignant about what you want to do, and Supergirl cannot do that. um but we're gonna see. And but yeah, the crisis event, I'm hoping that it's gonna be good. And we'll see. So everybody, like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe down below. Let's talk about it. Give me your ideas. Like, what would you do, and how would you want to see the CW do things? How after Crisis, after Arrow ends, do you think that Batwoman should be the new Arrow? Do you think that Flash should be all about Eobard Thawne, and then the next season should be about Bloodwork or the Rogues? I mean, what do you think should happen for some of these seasons? All right, you guys have a great day. Bye.